something brand new. And here we go, guys. Les against Pooh. Quarterfinal match 1, set 1, round 2. Let's take a look at the pre-ban, Topa.
Yeah, what are going to be the pre-bans? Not actually insta pre-bans, which is usually something that you would see in the very first game. I would assume that both these players have prepared for the other. And we see Pooh banning out the Yanhan that Les did not even use in the first game.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those units. We have seen that a few more times. We have seen Tian Langs being pre-banned when Tian Lang has never been shown. Segments being pre-banned when Segment never been shown. Now we also have that with the Yon Hong on the side of Les. Is Les gonna go for first pick Waterfall? Ain't no way, because that is a decent to good counter unit, but definitely not a first pick. Is opting to go is Nesco. Les is playing the same style he was playing back in 2023, showcasing 3-4 units, taking it away. Showcasing this, taking it away, locking actually in that Asher.
Wow. Asher, first pick of 3 unit, very free-to-play friendly from Les right there with the Asher. Is it on Swift? Could it be on Vile? You never know. And that is the mystery that Pooh need to find out when we go to the first match here.
And you definitely don't know, especially when you're facing off against Les. That could be even despair for all I know. But either way, Asher has had a great showing today. But Pooh already going for a Chakra right away, which has been playing a lot on the ladder.
Yeah, which is actually interesting because his Asher is mostly paired with that Chakra, and therefore it's maybe a steal from Les. And Pooh is definitely doing what Pooh does best, waiting all the way till the end of his timer. You don't have to lock in the first 30 seconds. We do see a Heigang and a Rakan on the side of Les, but Pooh really likes to get the timer go down, really thinking about this draft. Okay, if I do this, what will the enemy do? If I do that, what will the enemy do? What is my absolute best position? So Pooh locking anything else in before 5 seconds is very rare, but we actually get a Zenitsu on wind variance, or on water variancing unit.
Because this unit got buffed in the recent balance patch, I think, and now it has a lot to do with him stunning the enemy, gaining bar in between, and also reducing his own cooldown. If his team gets stunned by the Heigang, for example, it's quite interesting, but Heigang hard counter the Wind Intra, so Wind is going to stay, but oh my god, we have the Light Devil Maiden to counter the debuff, and a Gelnir to counter the Light Horse. I haven't seen an SWC match where so many of my LD5 on the screen right now, Topa.
Yeah, this is insane. We see a Gelnir, no Bulwark so far, but a Gelnir. You also have this return of the Rakan on left side as well as that Jessica, which did do quite well. And Pooh now hovering over a Chao. You know, there's not really, I mean, there are no wind monsters, no pushbacks on the side of Les, aside from that Heigang skill 1, so this is quite strong.
I think that Chao is going to be a must ban, because if you ban out that Gelnir, Chao would take that match solo. So those are most likely the bans over there. Gelnir is actually sitting super strong in this lineup because there's so many AoEs. You're always forced to hit a little bit of everything, and therefore Gelnir will go for a lot of healings. But once again, not just locking in things very slowly, waiting for the timer to go down, also with the bans, being very precise, locking in the bans. What do we see? Chao is not on the field, but we're actually going to see this Gelnir.
Oh, this is going to be very interesting here, guys. Here we go. First round, not a single Shiho, Oliver, and Ciara inside. What is going to be this match? Nobody knows. First turn belongs to the Asher.
No surprise with Asher taking the turn one. Heigang does follow up, does not get the buff remove on the Eleanor, however, but he is protected by this Heigang. Megumi cannot do a whole lot. Does get a violent proc, however.
Also well played by this Megumi, because actually the Gelnir was supposed to be faster than this Rakan. You could have stolen the buff, but now the Rakan, often low on accuracy, has to be stealing a buff and provoking on this pony. Can you do it? No, it's actually going to go for a different unit altogether.
And Gelnir finally taking a turn. This unit is probably one of the most passive units you can imagine, because right now he's going to be the main healer for the team. And hard counter the Eleanor, because every time the Eleanor does that, it's going to be 5 stacks for Gelnir, and that is going to be unlimited healing for this unit. And I don't think Pooh is exactly very good at doing a lot of damage or burst damage at the moment, so it's going to be a long game for Pooh.
Yeah, it is going to be a long game, but Pooh also does not have that much sustain. We do have the Eleanor. I mean, if it violent procs, that is obviously a lot of sustain, but you really need to get those turns. Otherwise, it is not going to be that much. So Les might just win the long game. We see the Eleanor take a turn, and once again, Gelnir is fully stacked up.
Yeah, Gelnir keeps getting full stacked up, but the window of opportunity right here for Pooh is getting an armor break from that Zenitsu on water. If you get an armor break, potentially with an additional turn, you can do a good bit of damage. But anything you hit right now, oh, you did 12k damage, I'll heal 12k damage.
this is the kind of match where you watch a Siege replay and you blame your guilty for not using Destroy Rune pretty much, because nothing is really sticking right now. But maybe, just maybe, when this horse is not on in the human form, this is where the Chandra... Oh, never mind. He was about to do some big damage, but never mind. This Rakan is going absolutely crazy.
And the violent Rakan getting that proc there does get a stun, but it also did remove a buff, so Heigang has other plans about that. And now the Isher moves out of the Diva's break, removes the truck from the field. The Rakan is absolutely Jengaing this game.
Oh, Rakan is doing so much damage, but we also see this armor break into Nestu actually having the Rakan stun. No, the Rakan is, I'll take the additional turn, I'll shake off that armor break, and I'm just going to go for a skill one, but I'm sitting comfortable on this bus right now.
Oh my god, I cannot believe it. Rakan controlling this match. What a Zenitsu trying to do damage, but it's just impossible. And this Unicorn is also being completely controlled as well. And the good thing about Rakan AoE control is that it doesn't rely on Rakan hitting everybody. It's just one target, and he's controlling everybody else as well at the same time, ignoring sort of the passive of the Eleanor a little bit.
Yeah, we finally have some damage coming in. We do not have any stack right now on the Gelnet just now. Can you take it out? Does potentially take it out. Does actually cleanly take it out. So it's Rakan on his work. Can you take out this pony? Because this Zenitsu is very dangerous. It's looking at a provoke.
Yeah, goes for the Zenitsu actually and does manage to land off element, gets that provoke, and the Zenitsu is going to drop here very soon. This Rakan did so much work, and also the Gilner just keeping the team alive is a lonely Eleanor, and she will not be taking this match.
Yeah, it's just so much damage from this Rakan. It's the comeback of the Rakan. We have seen a few players play this unit right now. It was recently buffed to do more damage on that skill 3, if I'm not mistaken. But it's just one of those units. Sometimes it just really works. And it would be interesting to see, do you go high on crit damage? Do you go high on accuracy? There's a lot of different builds that you could go on this unit. Who is also thinking about, okay, what can I change for the next draft?
All right, I call absolutely BS on that, okay? We got the Light Horse on the screen and the Rakan crit on my water unit back to back. All right, that is why I don't like the Light Horse. Please, can we get a campaign to buff the Light Horse, please?
It's a fake unit. It's a fake unit. That's all I say. It's a fake unit. It might have nothing to do that I have it and I don't like to play it myself. It's a fake unit.
Yeah, glancing just not working out there at all, but it was really just came down to the ban there, I feel like. Pooh really did not respect that Gilnir, and for some reason really respected Jessica. I think Pooh was really expecting an Eleanor ban and was really trying to just 5-head, so to say, less there. You know, didn't mind, because if he had the Eleanor, that immunity counters the Jessica.
Yeah, I 100% agree on that. The Gelnir is actually one of those units. If you're playing one of those ponies, it's just 5 stacks to the Gelnir. You do 12k damage to something, 12k heal from the Gelnir. It's full on the recovery stacks from the artifacts, and it's just doing so well. Once again, we're definitely taking our time for the pre-bans. So let's see what the two gentlemen like to pre-ban right now. Are we going to see a Gelnir pre-ban? Is that what we're playing right now?
Nah, I don't think so, because this time they get to play with his new favorite unit. That's going to be Nyx. And I think Nyx is probably one of the strongest AoE strip to be drafted right now, due to the fact that it feels like Veronica, which is the top tier strip, but also comes with a very ridiculous passive.
Yeah, so we see less pre-banning out that Megumi that Pooh really loves to use. In a crit rate build, does a lot of damage, obviously takes a lot of turns to this passive. And Pooh finally managed to find the Light Gojo. Seemed like he was scrolling through his iPad for probably, 50 seconds there looking for that Light Gojo, and finally decides on that. Now he has first pick. What is he going to pick up here?
Yeah, even with the first picks, Pooh often still likes to wait all the way to the last few seconds to lock in Ethan Oliver. No, wait, are we gonna go for this swift draft with the swift Nikki, swift Hunt, swift everything? I think Les has seen this draft, but on the other side, we see a kid. That is a hacker on water. That's a unit you normally do not really see. That is a budget Veronica right there. So let's see if that's actually a unit.
It's kind of funny that he screamed, "We see a kid!" Yeah, I mean, it's literally, we see a kid on the other side of the screen. But speaking of Veronica, that is actually the water Veronica fighting the dark Veronica pretty much. But Pooh is going to go for a very aggressive draft, and the only way to deal with that is either to survive, which is not really ideal. So we're going to go with our speed round. That's going to be the Asher being picked up by Les. So we got 2 swift contests with a 33 speeding and another potentially swift unit to stop Pooh advance with a swift draft.
And what can Pooh do to counter this? Now, I don't think he really has the speed to outspeed this, so he goes for a Ragdoll, hoping that Les will crit against that attack bar. He also does have the Nyx. If Nyx can nullify some debuffs coming out of maybe this Dark Megumi, maybe he can cut in and do something, but right now, Les is looking to just cleave Pooh down.
Well, the big question is, Pooh, are you going to find 5 dark units on the field? No, we're going to go for an Antares. He's a Europe, and he brings the Europe special. We're just going to go for an Antares. We saw that in 2019 in Paris, and I would love to see this unit get in this match, because that's going to be absolutely crazy.
Man, the last time I see Antares, a lot of people were upset, not for the Antares. But anyway, we got a Chandra last pick going out here. We got a lot of attack by boost coming out from Pooh. We have strip control from Les. We have Antares from Pooh. And Antares could be a force to be reckoned with.
He really might be. Lest is definitely light on damage here. That Asher with the speed buff, as well as maybe a crit damage Chandra, crit Ray Oliver, could do a lot of damage, but there's no defense break and still no traditional damage dealer inside of Lest.
Yeah, but now we're just looking at the pushbacks. We didn't get any stun from the Chandra, so it could be Despair, could be Violet. Also, Oliver right away missing the S3, so it's going to be looking at an off turn very soon.
Oh, big damage coming out. And if he take down the Chandra quickly, this Antara is going to be quite scary here. But he's going to go for the kid. Straight up.
Goes for the K1D, the water hacker right there. Really respecting this monster. Feel like he already kind of did most of his... Well, it does have the attack bar pushback, so it could do a lot of control there. But Chandra now getting that protection on it. Antares finally getting its first turn. Is it built on Despair? Can it? No stuns. Maybe a violent Antares.
Yeah, maybe a violent Antares could definitely potentially do a lot more damage. Can we actually take out this? Oh, yes, we do take it out. So that's also, if you build something super fast on Swift, more on the damagey side, it is just simply not going to be any kind of tanky. So it's going to be more difficult to draft. And also, thus far, the Antares has kind of been just chilling on the bottom right side, not really doing anything. It's like, I kind of want to do something, but I'm just sitting over here not doing anything.
I feel like he could have picked a Fire Jane and done more work than this Antares, who's sleeping right now, not doing a single thing. Chandra providing some crazy AoE protection. Antares is still standing there. Unbelievable. What an absolute piece of trash.
He's just standing there menacing, not doing anything. This Antares is slowed. It has 0 speed. It's about to take a natural turn.
Antares, you're sleeping on the job. Someone is depending on you to do something. You take a turn right now. You almost had a natural turn. You're on 0 speed. You're on slow. You have negative speed. If you had any less speed, you would be taking your attack bar going down at least your additional turn, because you're finally doing something. But it's so super late. You have to take it back. Yes, Antares, that's what we're talking about. We have to cheer this man on. It is going to go there, but then you still have to fight this Chandra. Can you actually do it?
Antares being the best unit in the game right now, doing so much damage to enemy, absolutely carrying Pooh to the victory here potentially. But unfortunately for Pooh, the Chandra doesn't really know much about the glancing. And Antares is going to be the last one standing here. Can he actually... Oh, he is the Antares additional turn. Very good damage. But this Antares we saw was on Nemesis and not Revenge, which means there's no random revenge that's about to happen to save the Antares from this... Oh my god! Antares getting the stun on the face and absolutely not doing anything. Antares once again, why are you here in the game, you absolute piece of trash?
Oh my goodness. The Antares, it did absolutely nothing for the first half of the game. Then it turned it up. It got that proc, violent proc, another proc, back to back. Almost looked like it could do something. I was beginning to believe, and then Antares says, you know what? I did my part, and I am not going to be winning this by myself.
Oh, the Antares had the roller coaster of emotions, and we have more roller coaster of emotions here on this desk. We went from absolute trash to the best unit in game to being the absolute trash. Once again called out by Champi. Do not pick this unit if you're not feeling it on your day. And Pooh was not feeling it on this match. Les is sitting at a 2-0 victory right now. He is match point, and this is the guy that most of the casters voted to go all the way, so he has to be picking up something super strong, and then Nicky Draft once again just not really did it.
I mean, he was supposed to be the meta gamer, but Pooh is playing very, very off meta right now. But the fact that he's doing that might be costing him the game right here. So I wonder if he's going to go back to being the meta player, or is he going to keep cooking but burning the kitchen down at the same time?
Yeah, Pooh is almost trying to like out off meta list here. You know, let's definitely not play meta with this SG first pick once again. I mean, it has been working out very well, so can't really knock on less playstyle here. But Pooh definitely has to be bringing out what he knows best here.
Yeah, I definitely do not really like the style of the segment, or not of the segment of the Nikki before. That playstyle, he has been playing it on ladder, but even on ladder, it did not have that much success, let alone in tournament play. So in this case, we do go back to the Megumi and we go back to the Chakra. Both of them did not really do all too much in that match one, but let's see what Les brings to the table, because at least there's no Heigang to counter these specific units.
Ooh, here goes. What is Les going to do? He's going to pick up the Rakan once again that did really, really well against the specifically Water Zenitsu in the previous game. And we got the Light Gojo that also did a lot of damage against his opponent earlier on. So, Pooh, if you go turn 2 with the Antares, you are absolutely going down. So, it's going to go for the turn 1 strip and the turn 1 attack buff as well.
Well, he definitely going a little bit turn 2 here with the Nyx. Does have that passive to maybe deny these provokes on the Rakan, as well as this 100 resistance. Nikki looking to get some cleanses, but Les going for a monster that does not care about resistance, does not care about landing anything. It is just a Sonya for a straight up kill.
Yeah, Sonya for the kill. He's only looking at 1 speed lead just yet right now, and I do think that Nikki might potentially be very fast. We added in with the Chandra, did do a lot of work. Pooh, do you have a very strong 5th, and what are you going to be banning out on that strong 5th? You're only looking at 1 speed lead right now. You're not really speed contesting, whereas your enemy is showing 2 units with super high base speed plus 2 speed leads.
I think you kind of need to ban Sonya and pick up a Veramos. I think that's going to be an absolute amazing. Oh, we got a Han right there. He wants that turn 1, but then over there, Les has 2 high base speed units to completely shut down something immediately. And we also saw that in the previous game that 100 Res, Nyx and Nikki got absolutely slowed down by a Chandra.
Yeah, I'm really not feeling this Han pick. I don't think it's going to be tanky enough, and it definitely won't be fast enough. Or with pairing the speed lead with the Nikki or the Nyx, it's not going to be fast enough outspeed Les on those high speed monsters. But either way, it does take the ban.
We still have Sonya on the field. I'm very surprised about the Sonya on the field. Might this Chakra be a Sonya trap? Might this Nikki be a Sonya trap? Is that what we're playing right now? We're gonna find that out very quickly. We have the first turn over there. Or is it maybe just too much HP? We do see shield sets sitting as well. So what are we gonna go for the Guard Thrust? Guard Thrust does go on the Nikki, does actually not take it out.
Oh, and that's going to be a great turn for the Megumi. Can he land a stun? He will land a stun on the Swift Light Gojo. And here comes the mist strip on the Chandra, but we still have a fair bit of healing coming out from the Nikki. And Nikki's going to heal herself back to almost full follow-up with the Chakra, going in with the AoE damage. This might be a potential good game for Pooh.
It might be, especially with that stun on the Rakan, is crucial. He is really counting on this Nyx passive to deny these slows, because if his team gets slowed here, that Gojo will be moving. It's going to be cleansing. It's going to be doing a lot of damage. The Rakan does not proc out. Or glancing hit from the Megumi does not take out the Sonya, but she does not have any skills either.
Yeah, also this skill 3 could potentially do a lot of damage. There was a lot of cleanses, not too much damage flying in just yet, but we're waiting for this Rakan to take turns, and he's going for the collapse after resisting the Megumi.
And here comes the Chakra doing another stun. Nikki with the attack follow-up. And that is going to take down the Sonya. That's going to almost take out the Gojo, but eat the revenge in the face. And I think this is looking way, way better for Pooh right now, because the Rakan is not getting the turn that he needs to do what he needs to do. And one more unit going down. Pooh might be taking us to game 4, but no way! Rakan is in his track.
Dude, this Rakan is going absolutely crazy, getting all the revenges, all the violent practice it needs, but even then, oh my goodness, it gets another revenge, but even then, it will be going down here, and I don't think this Chandra has what it takes to win this game.
Yeah, and Les definitely does agree on that one. The additional turn on the Rakan looked super strong, but during that additional turn, did also lose the defense from the Chandra, able to take so much more damage. And we also do see this Wind Chakra from Pooh is making so much damage on the whole team. It nearly one-shotted the Sonya. That is an incredible amount of damage. The Gojo was straight up half HP. The Rakan even lost a lot of HP on that. So it's definitely one of those super dangerous units, and I think that Les might be looking at banning those kind of units.
And here we go, game 4. This time, he can pre-ban the Nyx that stop his entire team from using skill. And we also saw that Pooh was very confident to survive the Sonya, even with Nikki, who usually tried to have a bit of attack stat in there as well, but she managed to survive the Sonya turn 1 with that shield set. I think he was pretty much ready for the Sonya, but this time, Les knowing that the Sonya is not going to work, maybe he's going to switch to a different high base speed unit.
Well, the Sonya might still work. We saw even in the Zayza's game, I believe, he hit a Josephine with the Sonya and then just followed up with the Water Monkey to take it out. So you just need some sort of fast unit to follow up that kill, even if the Sonya doesn't do it. But we saw in the last game that Pooh actually managed to cut in after the Sonya and then stun the Light Gojo. So the Nikki actually survived and got that heal off.
Yeah, it's definitely those follow-ups, and that is why the Megumi is also pre-banned in this matchup. It's one of the first picks, comfortable picks from Pooh to always lock that in. It is actually on a high damage set, so it's working very well. And now we have the steal on this side for Pooh getting that Asher.
Oh, and over there we got the Oliver, we got the Kid over there from last team for the AoE strip and to increase cooldown time. But Pooh, Fire Megumi is being pre-banned right now, which means he needs to switch to a different speed lead because he's been using the Fire Megumi the entire time. What is going to be the speed lead for Pooh? Is it going to be Ciara? Is it going to be Water Twin Angel? Or Chandra. Oh, it's going to be Vanessa.
Yeah, it goes to Vanessa. We have not seen these players pick up the Vanessa, and Les responding with a Efna. Pooh already does have the Vanessa on his field. Could go maybe for a Ragdoll, but that Megumi is in the pre-ban.
Yeah, it's definitely that you could pick up a lot more fire units right now because all of the damage comes from either a wind unit or a fire unit. Ragdoll always super strong into Athnas. When I was playing a lot of Athnas, Ragdoll was my biggest fear. I never wanted to draft Athna into Ragdoll, but Les does know that Pooh has that Ragdoll can come out, is actually going to come out. He has 3 seconds left on the clock. Does he lock it in? Does seem to be locking in the unit with a Marsha.
Oh, that is a very aggressive team from Pooh. A lot of speed scaling damage. Hey Gang right there just to piss him off because that Chakra is going to do terrible into the Hey Gang. But is he going to lock that in though? Or is he going to go for a different speed lead here to try to snipe the turn 1 away from Pooh?
Yeah, not locking into Hagang just yet. Could also go for a slower turn 2 monster here. If he bans out this Chakra from Pooh's side, or even if he doesn't, there's not really any follow-up CC. So I do like the Shizuka pick here. There's not really a good way to control this monster.
Yeah, it's not really a good way to control this monster, but it's also the big question. What do you ban out right now? Because the Chakra is definitely going to be a lot of damage on this Ethna. The Marsha is going to be a lot of damage on this Ethna. Sure, you could maybe bring it back to life for just a half a turn, but is that going to be good enough? That is going to be the big question, because I'm actually liking Pooh's draft in this scenario.
Yeah, if we manage to get that turn 1, it's going to be a lot of damage. And even if you have to suffer a little bit from the Shizuka, it's not going to be a problem. And the Chakra is being respected by Les, being banned out pretty much immediately. Let's see which person is going to take the very first turn. Is it Ethna? Is it Escher? It's going to be the Ethna. This Marsha is going to be the very easy target, but missed the stun.
That is a huge miss on the stun, because now Marsha will take a turn, and that means she will get immunity back up. Actually opted to not go for a defense break. Does not want to give a defense break, knowing that he has enough damage to delete the Efna either way.
It's definitely a very interesting play, but in the end, it did work out. The Ragdoll was moving right after. Also, everything taking additional turns. Did not need those additional turns to actually fully make the kill, but he wanted to keep that skill 3. He did not want to give that defense break just yet, because he does know Shizuka would give that defense break back. And also does know that he can use the strip at a later moment if Shizuka goes for the 3rd skill right now.
Definitely going to be a very interesting play right there. And no defense back on the entire team. 2 buffs, so Vanessa is going to have a bit of trouble trying to strip that defense, that immunity on the Oliver. But right now, Les team with not a whole lot of damage. Oh my god! That move where he saved the defense break didn't really mean much, but that was pretty cool to look at.
Yeah, pretty cool to look at. Does land it through that 50-50 and even the resist checks, but there's just not enough damage on Les's side. And even without, well, it does have the Escher heals, but those could be reset. I think the Marsha with the tempo from the Ragdoll is just eventually going to be taking this game for Pooh.
Yeah, it's definitely what we said in the draft. The Shizuka felt like not enough damage. If you take out the Athna pretty quickly, and either the Masha would have done a good job on that, or that Chakra would have done a crazy good job at that. It's just simply taking out those units, and Pooh is so confident in his units that he doesn't even skill 2, and he's bringing it back to a 2 against 2.
Oh my god, we are going to a game 5, ladies and gentlemen. And that is going to be a very intense one. Who is going to move on to the next round? Is it going to be Pooh? Is it going to be Les? We have one less world champion in the tournament. Will we have none left after this?
Yeah, that is very well said there, Sean, and we are going to a game 5. Les looks so strong, taking the 2-0 lead immediately, and now we saw Pooh actually cheering there. He's back in his groove. He has brought this back to a 2-2, and he's looking to complete the reverse sweep.
Yeah, it's definitely the big question. How is this draft going to revolve around? Because as you mentioned, the first two drafts of last looked like, oh, this is unlosable. The Geldnir, all of those plays, they worked out so well. Whereas Pooh definitely did climb back into his units. The Chakra doing very well for him. The Asher Steel also worked out very well. And that is just where we don't see enough damage on the side of Lest in that last match. We actually see an Asher respect on the pre-ban.
Oh, which means Les has one less unit to speed contest Pooh if Pooh decides to go for that turn 1 gaming here. And let's see what is going to be the first pick. Is it going to be Oliver? It is going to be the good old Rakan coming out from Les. Crazy how it is not Shiho, it is not Oliver, it's not Sierra that being contested between these players. It is like Asher Rakan.
Yeah, Rakan is actually quite a phenomenal monster. I've been playing this myself on the ladder quite a bit, and I was actually wondering, why don't more people play this? I remember saying those exact words previously, like, this unit is so good. The skill 3 does have that buff remove on a single target, as well as the AoE provoke that doesn't care about elements.
Definitely, yes, but I think it's strong. But is it first pick strong? That is the big question right here. Because you also did see Pooh not play it just yet, so you could have saved it to a later moment. But in this case, we're gonna go back. Wait, were those two that were off-key tuned, where the Changpang moved in front of the Hey Gang? Did he actually fix that? Because that's going to be a difficult match. Also, would you be playing a Hey Gang and a Changpang very much AoE focused into a Megumi? Megumi's gonna be taking so many turns.
And here comes a bit of extra RNG that might or might not work against your favor. That's going to be the light unicorn getting picked up by Pooh right there. But he's definitely going to need a strong damage candidate for this match. And that is going to be the Masha, which is the OG counter to the Changpang. But over there, Pooh's going to go for AoE strip into AoE slow.
That is a lot of damage, a lot of aggression coming out from left side. He has plenty AoE buff removers here and also the AoE control. But yeah, that is the big question here. Surely Liz has fixed the speed tuning of his Art Masters here. And what will Pooh last pick? Could it be maybe a Ragdoll, or is he looking for something fast? Maybe a Sonya to even outspeed and snipe a monster?
I definitely think he is going to be looking at some kind of passive that does good against the whole team, and he finds that in the sense of Abelio. So either the Abelio is going to be super good into the draft, because then you would be banning that Changpang, I would say, or the Eleanor has so much disruption against the draft of Lest right here. So let's see what the two gentlemen will go for the banning.
Here we go, guys. Game 5, the last one between Les and Pooh. No more second chances. And that's going to be a Chandra ban. Fire Megumi getting banned out. Les might have a very strong start, but that Abelio is going to be right there in his way.
But the Abelio might just get reset by this Changpang. I don't think that's really the correct ban on this Chandra. I think you needed to ban out this AoE defense. That is a really fast Eleanor. The Eleanor does not get buff removed, so Eleanor will actually be able to change forms and cleanse the defense breaks. But then again, she becomes a lot squishier when she transforms.
Yeah, she becomes a lot squishy right now. She does take the additional turn. Could go for a stun right there. Actually goes back to the form, so you have the glancing potential coming in there. So this is the big question. With the glancing potential right there, do you get enough pushbacks? That's going to be a really difficult job. No, actually goes for S2. He wants to go for damage potential just straight up. But where was the damage going to be aiming at? Because the Lamila, you're not really going to do any damage to.
And here comes the damage, here comes the provoke, didn't really do a lot of damage, and the violent from Lamila giving her the opportunity to go for the skill 3, stopping any further action from the Hey Gang and the Dark Megumi. Abelio walking up as well, and that's going to be a lot of healing and a beautiful, exquisite provoke onto the Changpang.
That is absolutely phenomenal. Now Lamila has a fully stacked up Arts Sacrifice, not quite enough to take out the Changpang. Changpang does not find a proc. Les team is looking so low. And I think Pooh, Les is conceded. Pooh takes the reverse sweep.
There we have it. Pooh has indeed done the reverse sweep there and gets a victory, knocking Lest out of the competition, who will not be going any further in our World Finals in 2025. But Pooh